Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Let's hang out. And let's talk about what lessons about. Let's hang out. And let's listen to 2 lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Hang Out. I'm Ellie Brigida.
And I'm Lee Holmes Foster, and here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. We are still in the thick of our Season 5 Patreon campaign. We have 3 new patrons. We want to say a huge shout out to Kayla Denny, Do Re Mi, and Danielle Coonerty for supporting us on Patreon. You can join them and hang out with us on our patron-only Discord chat at bit.ly/lespatreon.
And we want to remind you, we've had so many events lately, and we are coming up to one of the last ones, at least in this run at least. So we want to tell you that we are going to have a live episode on Zoom with us, our friends over at Bad Queers, and we are going to be talking all about all of our thoughts and feelings and emotions about the musical Rent. You don't want to miss it. We're excited, and we can't wait to see you all there. It's going to be on November 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be great. You can get tickets for that at our Eventbrite, or if you're a patron, you get to come for free. So you could also join our Patreon and come hang out with us for free next week. So exciting. In the greater Les universe, Kristen Stewart has just gotten engaged. So sorry, ladies. I know there's a lot of very sad lesbians out there.
A day of mourning.
It is a
day of mourning indeed.
For all of those who thought they might one day marry Kristen Stewart. But we are very happy for Kristen. So happy since she came out, and just very happy to see that she is in love and happy. So congratulations, Kristen.
Up next, we'd like to have our next weekly installment of Lee Talks About JoJo Siwa on Dancing with the Stars.
We love it.
Everyone is excited for this. So listen, in a heart-stopping twist of fate, somehow our fave, JoJo Siwa, landed in the bottom 2 this last week, which is wildly unacceptable, especially because it was after a tango that they did to Freddie Mercury on Queen Week, singing Body Language. So truly a hate crime, I think, is what has occurred here. So listen, they're still in the running, but I think everyone just needs to make sure that they are, supporting and voting every week. That's all.
Get out there and vote.
Get out there and vote. And also, we still love you, JoJo.
Do your duty as an American. Vote for Dancing with the Stars. We also want to give a shout out to Cruising Podcast. They're a new podcast that just came out. They took a road trip for 30 days and hit every single lesbian bar in the United States, interviewing owners and bartenders and all the regulars there on the way. And the first 2 episodes are out now, so you should check that out.
And you may or may not hear them, in an upcoming episode sometime. So you should definitely be up to speed. That's all we're saying. That's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Lee.
Thanks, Ellie and Lee, and welcome to our 71st installment of Shoulda Been Gay.
Oh, it was fun, it was great, but it should have been a little more gay.
And in this week's episode, fix your attitudinal problem, you Heridius cow.
Biatch.
Wow,
Wow,
amazing.
that was beautiful.
Especially of a reference that like 4 people are
that
gonna
like
get.
no one will understand at all. This week we are talking about, it's on Netflix, but I don't know if it's like it's not a Netflix original.
It's not. It's a 2008 movie that actually seems like it was pretty well known when
It's
it came out.
called Wild Child.
Yeah.
We saw a very gay preview and we thought, you know what, we're just gonna try this thing with Emma Roberts, Juno Temple, all kinds of Moaning Myrtle. Like it's got
Yeah.
the mother from Parent Trap. It's got a cast.
You know what Kelsey and I decided when we watched this, Ellie, is it feels like a high school movie that just came out like not when we were in high school. So we didn't see it,
Yes.
but I feel like there is a generation that will know this movie.
So if you're out there, high school in 2008, let us know. Let us know if you've seen this film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's dive in. I'm ready to talk about Wild Child. If that doesn't sound like a
Wild
gay name,
Child.
What
Oh
is?
my god, but we're going to get into it. Let's start, as always, for anyone who has not seen the movie. We'll save you a little bit of time. Here is the IMDb synopsis. A rebellious Malibu princess is shipped off to a strict English boarding school by her father. Period. The end. That's it. That's the synopsis.
That's it. So for our gay synopses, I actually realized I was just taking many, many notes, but I don't think I actually wrote a gay synopsis itself. But I'm just
Oh my god, can you do it on the fly?
I'm just gonna try to do it on the fly. 2 warring lesbian factions fight at British boarding school over a very closeted new lesbian at their school.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's so accurate it pains me almost. I went a little different direction because I feel like, so here's the thing. Given that we are making an assumption that like many people haven't necessarily seen this movie, I tried to go with a gay synopsis that like makes it a little bit more relatable for people. So
Okay,
my
cool.
gay synopsis is, did you ever wish Cadet Kelly was a bit less military and a bit more British, but just as gay? Boy, have we got the movie for you.
True. This is a very British Cadet Kelly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like if Cadet Kelly, but instead of like army and twirling a gun around, British boarding school and lacrosse.
Oh yeah. They play lacrosse. Like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
It's so gay. It's so gay.
It's very gay, but that's what it kept reminding me of, is like I kept having very like Cadet Kelly flashbacks. So listen, if you enjoyed Cadet Kelly and you were like, wow, I just wish I had more movies like Cadet Kelly, but that were a little bit more British to add to my repertoire of like should have been gays, here it is. This is the movie for you.
They were like a little bit more British and like even worse dialogue.
Yeah.
Then here's a film for you.
I
And-
think Herodias Cow is like a real
Yeah. I personally was a
just-
fan of Saddle Up Girls, we've got ourselves a Bronco. Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
we're gonna get into it. Should we real quick do our experience with the movie? Ellie,
Yeah,
just
I mean,
in
it's
case,
very-
in case anyone didn't catch it when we flew by it.
Very fresh experience. So there are some weeks that Lee and I just say, you know what? We have to do a Should Have Been Gay this week. What do we want to do? And the world's our oyster. And we said, all right, let's go on Netflix, see something that's easy for us to watch. The trailer for Wild Child starts playing as like something you would like, because I think they're advertising this to queer women. Because I'm pretty sure I mentioned it to another queer friend of mine and they were like, oh yeah, I saw that trailer. And the trailer looked gay, and so we jumped in.
Well, the trailer looked gay, had a bunch of like girls in boarding school outfits, which are like ripe for gay, and said it had Juno Temple in it. And so we were like, I mean, sold.
Let's
You
do
might
it.
remember Juno Temple from, obviously, first from our fantastic episode recapping Afternoon Delight, starring her and Catherine Hahn also being gay lovers.
What a film.
Or you might know Juno as, you know, maybe Keely on Ted Lasso, if anybody's heard of a little show called Ted Lasso.
Then
you
no
know?
one's. I haven't heard anyone's watching it really.
No, yeah,
No?
it's pretty
Pretty indie.
underground. It's got to be in the right circles. So so we decided sold. Neither of us had ever heard of it, seen it, knew anything about it. We just jumped in feet first off into the deep end, you know.
Yeah, and what did you think? Like when you watched the film, what were the thoughts that were running through your head?
You know, I really can't believe this wasn't up for Oscar consideration. that
Agreed.
year. that it came out. No, here's what I thought. What I thought is this is a delightful teenage movie that I probably would have really enjoyed if it had come out when I was like 15, you know?
Yeah. It's very
And then
difficult to watch a film like this as an adult.
yeah, oh yeah.
This just because of the Horridus cow and all of the like
Well,
teenage bullshit. But
and just some in general, like the writing
so strange.
it's
Some
fine.
very strange choices, but the strange choices lend very well to a should have been gay. So let's dive in.
God, it's so gay,
It's
Ellie. It's
very
so gay.
gay.
Here's the thing. I have so many notes. Like we have had episodes where we have watched movies where I like watched it, knew all of the stuff that I thought was going to be gay going in, like rewatched and took notes about, and we have recorded like hour and a half long diatribes on how gay they are where I've had like 5 lines written down in my notes. I have line after line after line after line on this movie. Like I almost couldn't put my phone down. I kept having to pause because I was like, I have too much stuff to write of how gay it is. Starting with literally my first note is like almost a minute into the story when we're in the part of the story that you're like immediately supposed to ignore exists, where she's at her house in Malibu,
Yes.
right? And what's the first thing that we see Poppy do in this movie? Is jump off a cliff to impress a bunch of girls.
True.
And I was like, oh wow. Oh, what a gold mine we have stumbled onto.
I only started taking notes once we got to the boarding school because gay.
Okay, then wait. Then I have 3 important notes. One of them is the jumping off a cliff to impress a whole bunch of girls. The other one is that we immediately get the like, oh, who's the girlfriend? Like the girl that she leaves behind in America.
Oh, yeah.
And 3, the most important, I can't believe you didn't write this down if nothing else, is the most important line of dialogue that happens before Poppy gets sent to boarding school, which is when her dad threatens her with boarding school again. She says, and I quote, "You think because mom went to boarding school in England, it's gonna magically straighten me out?"
Oh my god. If anything, it makes her gayer.
Right?
Oh my god.
Like, Dad, do you not know anything about boarding school?
Yeah, like this is not the place to get straighter.
We've
Especially
talked
this boarding
about,
school.
especially this boarding school. We have talked about how sororities are gay culture.
Yes.
I feel like all female British boarding schools are like the precursor
So
to
gay.
that.
So gay.
It's like the pregame to how gay sororities are is this school, specifically this exact school.
It's too much. When we get to the school, we meet so many, like too many lesbians. Like it was like lesbian overload for me. When she gets out of this car, Harriet, who's like the mean girl of the school, and she's bragging about killing a bunch of animals. Like, what is happening? She has pelts.
She's like, I went hunting.
Yeah, she's
and
like,
you're like,
yeah, she's
okay.
like, I went hunting. Look at me, girls. Like, and you're like, what is happening?
And she clearly has that like that schoolgirl crush on the headmistress where she's like, I killed these birds for you. And you're like, that is like the gayest like mating ritual I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, wow.
And she's
Harriet.
She's flanked by 2 like sidekicks.
Oh my God.
Right? Her sidekicks are too much.
I'm gonna have to look up their names. I know they have names. I called them her side chicks the whole girl, whole movie.
They're her side chicks. Well, and 2, the first thing we see of Harriet is her like weirdly like grooming underage girls, which I really didn't
Yes.
like. That like maybe uncomfortable, but that's a
Yes.
trope we get in a lot of lesbian shit, right? Where she's like having them kiss her hand like she's the queen.
It's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. Harriet's vibe this whole movie is
Weird. Weird.
Can we break down? I feel like we need to do by character. I so desperately also want to go through the movie like
But yeah, I think you're right. The
in
most
order,
the
but
less
like
the least chaotic way is to do by character.
I think it's by
Yeah.
character.
So let's start with Poppy.
let's-
Start with Poppy
Let's
because
start
she's our
with yes,
yeah.
because we are gonna have a lot to say about
A lot.
Harriet too. But I'm glancing through my notes already, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get so off track. So let's start with Poppy. Poppy, who is getting sent to boarding school to magically straighten out, which
does not
clearly
work.
not the case.
No.
Poppy, who is a Malibu girl, and she's so popular, and she dyes her hair blonde, and she's into clothes and her makeup, and she's high maintenance, and she is like,
she also has a therapist. I wrote that down. Very, very queer.
She's got like the whole repressed power femme thing going for
She
her,
really
right?
does. And this is revealed about her, but when she first gets to boarding school, she's like, "Oh yeah, I've slept with so many boys. This boy and this boy and this boy. Oh, which one do you want me to tell you about? Yeah, I snogged them all." And it's
She's full of
she's
shit.
full of it. She's literally she's a virgin who can't drive, but she's
She's
bringing it back to
a
Clueless.
virgin who can't drive. It's so real. Oh my god, she is a virgin who can't drive.
Literally, but I'm sorry, like, you're gonna say that lying about sleeping with boys and actually being a stone cold virgin, that you're straight?
A super gay move, yes. Also, she's vegetarian.
Yep. That's it.
And I don't even know what number I'm on anymore.
And
I think I was on letters.
eighthly,
This is how chaotic this movie is in my brain right now. I literally can't. Every time I think of one thing to say, like 14 other things pop into my mind.
that's okay.
Okay. She's a virgin who can't drive. She's a vegetarian with a therapist who's lying about sleeping with boys. Also, I wrote down so many lines of dialogue when she first shows up at the school.
Oh yeah, the dialogue is amazing.
That are like very, very thinly veiled, like just full of innuendo, like weird stuff. Where like first, so Moaning Myrtle, right? Moaning Myrtle shows up as the matron of their dorm, is, you know, taking all of their cell phones and like, I don't know, disciplining them and stuff. And so she's obviously getting on the wrong side of Moaning Myrtle, who I'm sure has a name in this movie that I do not remember, and we're just going to call her Moaning Myrtle the whole time. Getting on the wrong side of Moaning Myrtle, and Moaning Myrtle decides to punish her by saying, "No mufti for a week," to which Poppy immediately responds, "Mufti may be your thing, but it sure ain't mine." And I'm like, first of all,
mufti is?
First of all, false. Well, and here's the thing. Regardless of what we think mufti is or what mufti actually is, which for anyone who is curious right now, it's apparently like your like actual clothing, like your like normal clothing as opposed to your uniform. It is very clear what Poppy thinks mufti means.
Yes.
That she is once again being like, I'm totally not into that, because the next line I have written down after that is that she, I think it's also about Moaning Myrtle or something, but I just have the line written down because of her massive hoo-ha. So like,
she's
listen,
really obsessed with mufti.
She is obsessed with mufti is what I'm saying, okay? Like, Poppy's got mufti on the brain. There is one thing on Poppy's brain, and that one thing seems to be mufti. That's all I can say about
mufti.
about Poppy. It's like, the girl's into some mufti. The girl's got mufti on her mind.
Yes,
okay?
the girl's into some hardcore mufti, and like all of her roommates are also. Yes.
It's a whole lot. She plays lacrosse.
She plays lacrosse, and like she like is a power lacrosse person. Like she's like trying to take control of everyone and tell them what to do, right? She also, when we talk about the roommates, we can talk about the sexual chemistry going on there, but let's talk about like the actual love story.
They're all like 16-year-old girls. Should we preface this with saying like, we're gonna be weird about this movie, but like this movie does it to itself, and I don't know how to get around it.
Really,
it's like super sexualized.
It's very sexualized, and that's why it's gay. And we're so sorry to these 16-year-old girls.
They're not, the actresses aren't 16. Does that make it better?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Also, Poppy's played by Emma Roberts. I don't know if we said that earlier, but so we have Emma Roberts, who has a love story with the guy who played the Beast in that, like, didn't he play it with, there was like a Vanessa Hudgens Beauty and the Beast. Remember?
Oh, is that?
I think he was in it. I think he was the Beast.
Interesting.
But either way, so she has this love story with this dude. Number one, like, never wants to kiss her. Yeah. Right? Like, he keeps, like, trying to not kiss her. They have, like, a very gay first date. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, the most, like, boring love story I've ever seen.
Well, and here's the other thing, is, like, there are so many things that Poppy does that are, like, clear gay moves to me, like the lying about having, like shagged a whole bunch of dudes.
Yep.
That certainly includes showing up at a school and having everyone be like, oh, here's the one boy that we ever see in real life, and we all have crushes on him. And she's like, I will have the biggest crush on him.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I'll be the one who really loves
okay,
him.
girl.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, she's like, is this what we're all doing? I am the straightest straight to ever straight, and I have the biggest, straightest crush on this man and his mufti. And you're like, okay. If that's what you gotta do, Poppy, you do you, sweetheart. You do you. That's fine.
It's so much. And like it's like also just like so forced. Like there's like lines that he says that's like, there's something about you, Poppy Moore. Every moment I'm with you, I'm catching my breath. And I'm like, this is literally like murder. Please murder me. Because there's no chemistry here.
No, it's terrible. It's so bad.
It's so bad. And he's like the forbidden guy love, right? And she's like, I've never felt this way before. What? She's like, it's crazy. The reason that I was trying to get kicked out is the reason I want to stay. And I'm like, you're not talking about this man. You are talking about probably Kate, right? Isn't Kate the main girl in the
Yeah, Kate's in the room. Yeah.
in the room? So
Kate's the one who calls her a Bronco, right?
yeah, so I don't know if we can.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about Kate in regards to Poppy because I feel like Poppy
Yes.
is gay because of Kate.
Oh, God, yes.
Just okay, so Kate's like her main roommate, right? And she basically like when she first gets in there, she's like keeping her at arm's length. And Kate is basically like, we're gonna like tame this little lesbian and make her part of our group, right? Like they're like, that's why she calls her a Bronco. I'm like, what does that mean?
That they're gonna break her.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
But
they're
there's
going to break her of
her straightness.
her heterosexuality. Who knows?
There's also like so much physical intimacy between all four of the girls, but specifically Poppy and Kate. There's a moment where Kate is making out with a dude at their like prom, and we never talk to the dude, right? She's making out with him. Poppy comes over. She like basically stops making out with the dude and is like, "Hey, Poppy, bye, man," and like he just leaves. Like she did not give a shit about him. So yeah, I ship Kate and Poppy for sure. What are your thoughts on Kate and Poppy?
Here's the thing, is like we will talk a little bit about the rest of their little clique, right? Because there's 5 of them sharing a room together. So Poppy joins this group with Kate and Drippy, Drippy played by Juno Temple, who I adore, Kiki and Josie, and we'll talk a little bit about them, but Kate is clearly like the leader of this group and the leader of their room. And they are the closest, right? Like Poppy's closest relationship is clearly with Kate, although I'm going to have my comments about Drippy as well. But yes, they are just like, they're always very close. They're always having these like deeper conversations. Like Kate's really trying to like take her under her wing, but like not in a like, you know, obvious way. She's just kind of like leaving the door open for Poppy to step out of the closet, if you will, you know?
And she
just
does.
kind of just cracking the door a little bit, letting some light in. She's like, look at how nice and gay it is out here.
She's like, whenever you're ready, we're all here for you.
We're all here for you. And when Poppy does decide to run out that door, she runs straight to Kate, you know? So listen, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are happening. And I think that like, if we're going to talk about Freddie being the headmistress's son, who is the boy that everyone has a crush on, and Harry especially has a giant lesbian crush on.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Freddie. Freddie, again, is a badly written, poorly developed, unexplored, and then promptly forgotten love interest.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, if we're going to talk about the Kate and Poppy storyline versus the Freddie and Poppy storyline,
Far more developed. We see so much more of them together. We see so much more of their friendship, how important their friendship is to them, all of this stuff. And then in a ending that surprised even me with how little this movie cared about Freddie, right? It's like so little.
So much is they have this like whole thing basically after Freddie finds her lighter.
Yes.
He like almost doesn't
Disappears.
exist anymore. And so they have like that whole storyline, and then they have to resolve the whole lacrosse storyline, and then you never see Freddie again. Right? Like the end of the movie is all
the
about
girls.
like all of the girls, and then they basically Freddie gets like a half mention almost in the credits. You don't even really see him. Like what they're focusing on is like, oh look, she flew all of these girls out to her house in Malibu to like sit by the pool together, and then like I guess Freddie's off on the side somewhere too, and like that's the only mention you ever get of Freddie ever again. Right? Like, even this movie couldn't pretend it cared about Freddie at all. They're like, the only thing that anyone really cares about and is here for are the relationships between these four girls.
Yes.
Like, obviously, or five girls, I guess, with all of them. Like, it's insane. So, like, yes, of course you ship Kate and Poppy. How would you not?
Because Freddie is useless. He has no purpose.
Oh, he's so useless.
Literally none. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. But yeah, let's talk about all the, like, Kate is just, like, a clear lesbian also. She just, like, does not give a shit about men. She's
gay
like
vibes.
So gay vibes. Yeah, just like really confident, like really like just cool with herself. And you're just like, that is an out lesbian. Like she's been out for a few years. Like she's got it. She knows herself. Yeah, I love her. But let's just talk about like the girls together. So they had a lot of like really intimate moments all together. Let's just talk about the bathtub scene. Because I've been waiting. Since I watched this film, I need to talk about this bathtub scene.
Listen, do you not frequently just hang out with all of your roommates and take side-by-side baths in a giant open bathroom together?
To be fair, I would with all my queer friends. If there was a room that had multiple baths side by side, I would definitely just like hang out with my gay friends in these like weird little baths. But why are they all next to each? I have never seen a bathroom that has bathtubs stacked in a row.
Unless you're in like a spa, right?
Stacked in a row. Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the other thing that I think is funny. Is like, A, why does this boarding school have a spa room? Why are they all in it together? And the other thing that I love is, oh, now I can't remember if it's Kiki or Josie, but there's only 4 baths and there's 5 girls, and they're just like, well, clearly this is still not a good enough reason for us not to all be in here together. So there's like one of the girls just sits in the middle of the baths, like on the floor, just so they can all still be together and still like having their little conversation.
Yes. And they're like, all naked in the baths, are they not?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Like they're straight up, it's not like they're like, oh, we're in hot tubs together with bathing suits. They are naked in baths.
It's bathtubs.
Sitting next to each other and just chatting and having a ball.
Yeah. And then they all start like splashing each other with water. Like, listen, when we say when we say that like we are not really responsible for like the way that we are going to talk about these high school students in this movie.
You put them in a bathtub together.
No, it's nonsensical. Like it is wild. Like, and they're just acting like it's totally normal. And like Poppy's only been there for like 2 months at that point. She's like, oh yeah, NBD, just bath time with my girls. And you're like, okay. So normal.
Yes.
Just like you do. As we've all done, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. It's gay.
It's gay.
Straight girls do not sit naked in baths next to each other. And if you do, if you're a straight person listening to our show and you sit naked in a bath next to your friends, you need to reassess your life.
Listen, if you are on episode 71 of our Should Have Been Gays,
we have some news for you.
As a straight person who's just really invested.
Who's not our parents. We have some news for you.
If you are not our parents or like a close personal friend of either one of us,
listen.
We have some things to tell you.
Welcome.
Mufti may be your thing.
You are a friend of Mufti now.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/letshangout today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/letshangout.
Let's hang out.
For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Streaming December 12th on Peacock. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie are back.
That's hot. Loves it.
For a show-stopping reunion that will prove putting on an opera is anything but simple.
We're really good at this.
One thing's for sure, they won't be upstaged.
Good to have you back.
Come on, we've got a show to do.
Paris and Nicole, The Encore, a 3-part reunion special, streaming December 12th, only on Peacock.
Yes, we have the bath scene. We also have this scene at the thrift stores.
Yeah, when they go shopping for prom, I don't really understand this whole none of the storylines make any sense.
None of the storyline makes any sense. So just like let us build this gay picture for you. So they're thrift store shopping. They are trying on all these clothes together. They're like also helping each other dress and undress.
Is there anything gayer than a clothes shopping montage between a group of women?
No, never.
Never.
But yeah, they're like
Queer culture.
taking off and putting on clothing of each other, like they're not doing it themselves.
Is this what people mean when they talk about the gay agenda, Ellie? Is how we just get together every week and we're like, listen, I'm sorry, but like baths, queer culture. Clothes shopping, queer culture. We own it now.
Overall, queer culture. Yeah, literally.
Queer culture.
Everything is queer, therefore everyone is queer, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, we can all be happy. But yeah, and the outfits that they're in at the end are also like super gay. Like, I'm pretty sure one of them's wearing a fedora.
They're going to a drag show. Like,
Yes.
Let's be real. They're not dressing for prom.
They're not.
They're like, let's dress to go to like a midnight Rocky Horror showing that I just found out about, and like they're just having a good old time. Yeah, they have a super gay clothes shopping montage. They're all like hyping each other up and like helping each other pick out outfits, and like it's very gay.
Yeah.
Then somehow mysteriously, I don't understand exactly what happens between the outfits they're wearing at the end of the clothes shopping montage and the outfits they all show up
Oh
to.
yeah, they're like, and surprise, these are not her outfits.
No, and it's like, and they try to pass it off as like somehow Poppy has mysteriously turned into like a
A fashion
seamstress
designer,
who,
yeah.
who like modified all of the clothes that they bought into these like super hip hot outfits. But they're also like, they're not even like, oh, here's the dress and then here's the like super cute version of the dress that she could never have made in like an afternoon with like one needle in her hand or something. But they're not even close to anything that they tried on.
They're
like completely different clothing.
Colors, fabrics, everything.
And sorry, but just to like real quick jump us back to Poppy for a second, but when they wear those outfits and they start getting ready for and she's like teaching them how to like strut into the room. Did you write down what she says? Because I did.
No, but I'm sure it's great. Hit me.
In a scene that I am convinced is just Poppy listing some of her favorite things, she just tells them lips, hips, and butt.
Oh my god. I noticed though that Heaven is a Place on Earth is playing at prom.
Yes.
And we all know that song. Like, I know it's 2008, so they didn't really know. But the song is queer culture because San Junipero. So that is all. That's all I have to say about that.
Amazing. Wow. Are you saying that Wild Child gave us San Junipero?
Oh my god.
Wild Child walked so that San Junipero could run.
That is a disservice to San Junipero, but yeah. Wait,
Wait, oh my god, sorry. I just looked at the next line in my notes, and I can't believe that we also forgot this while talking about the absolute waste of a storyline that is Freddie. So Freddie, her super straight man crush who shares with her at this dance that he played Alice in the school play, and that's why he knows all these Alice in Wonderland quotes. And I'm like, oh, children.
Gays gravitate towards gays and date gays.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, and she actually asks him specifically, are you gay? Because he doesn't kiss her.
Yeah.
And she's like, wait, are you gay?
Wow, there are a lot of like clueless like echoes in here, right? Of like the two gays clearly clocked each other and are like, aha, a beard.
Yep.
Maybe that's why Harriet is so into Freddie too.
She needs a beard.
She needs a beard. Can we talk about Harriet for a second? Because I actually have a great segue at the dance to jump us into Harriet, because the dance had my strongest Cadet Kelly throwback for me of my whole Cadet Kelly journey. So they're at this dance, right? Poppy is ostensibly trying to hit on and get with Freddie to get expelled from school, but Harriet also has a super big crush on Freddie. And so as you just naturally do in that situation when you are two girls feuding over the same boy, what you do is you go to a dance and you dance like very sexually while aggressively maintaining eye contact with each other in a scenario that like was so Cadet Kelly, it like hurt me how much I was like, oh, is that what we're doing again? Is we're just going to like stare only at each other across like a crowded dance floor and like dance suggestively at one another? And I was like, what is happening here? Like,
it was also one of the worst dances I've ever seen.
Oh, it's terrible.
In my life. Have you been, okay, this is a tangent, but not. You know Save the Last Dance?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been watching? There's like a new TikTok trend where like people reenact her final like Juilliard audition, and it's like,
oh no,
like when you really look at the dance moves, it's like the worst dance that anyone has ever done, and they're trying to be like, this person is a great dancer. Like that's what they're doing. Like they set up to be like, oh, this is my song. And it's the worst dance I've seen in my life.
Listen, I can see why this would make you think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not good.
It's not good.
But it is extremely gay. And the only thing possibly gayer than that happening is Harriet showing up to a dance with her two side chicks dressed like little page boys next to her. And I'm like, did Harriet, honest to God, show up to a dance with her two little like side pieces dressed as men?
Yes.
Is this what is happening just now? And also, I was into it and they were dancing together and I was like, I am here for this.
I'm here for the side chicks. I mean, to be fair,
I
also,
loved
like,
them.
Pride and Prejudice, queer culture, like...
Yeah, but you could come as Pride and Prejudice and dress the other girls with you as
women.
Girls.
Yeah.
It is a deliberate choice to be like, wow, you two both have to dress as men in like the little horse riding like pantaloon pant things and the little like lace necks with wigs, with short wigs on. And it is also a choice for those two girls to show up to that dance and then dance with each other. That is also a choice.
Oh,
and I was like, what is happening and why am I so into it?
They are in love.
They're so together. Like, they're so together. And I was
10,000%.
surprisingly okay with it, you know?
Well, because also, like, they're not, like, Harriet's, you know, a mean girl, but I feel like they're just, like, along for the ride. It's very, like, Regina George vibes of, like, you're like, Regina sort of sucks, but you sort of feel for Gretchen and Karen. And you're like, we haven't done a Shut Up and Go Mean Girls yet, but I would ship Gretchen and Karen, let's be real.
Well, and I ship Harriet's two side chicks, like, let's be real.
Yes.
I ship them, I think, almost the most in this movie, which is surprising to me, but I don't know. Just that one scene of them at the dance, I was like, I'm here for it. That's it.
I am sold.
Can we talk about some of Harriet's other gayest moments? Because besides there's the whole thing at the dance, my first, well, that's a lie. The first Harriet gayest moment is I hunted birds for you.
Yeah, here, take these pelts as a token of my love. Yeah.
But shortly after that, when we're first kind of like introing Poppy to the whole school and she doesn't get out of Kate's way fast enough in the hallway, which is like a thing.
Death.
Harriet's response to that is to turn to Kate and she goes, Kate, see to it she falls in line, and then eyes Kate like top to bottom to top again. And it, like, again, I was like, wow, I feel like there is some history between Harriet and Kate that I would love to know more about.
For sure, those two are exes from forever ago. They respect each other. They also hate each other. There's so much, you're right, there is so much history in that up-down. I see it. In that up,
like,
down, up.
A lot. It was like a full body scan. She was like, and because the thing about it is too, is like, you could tell that she trusts Kate Will. She's like, you're gonna see to it that she like gets the deal around here, right? And she's like, eyes you up and down. She's like, because I know you get the deal around here, and I know that you will take this one under your wing and like show her the ropes.
She's
and
like,
you're like,
this is your baby gay? She's like, actually, the
Yes.
quota of baby gays that I have under me is these two. I can't take any more baby gay
these
apprentices.
two and the tiny one who does my laundry.
Yeah, I can't take any more baby gay apprentices, so I need you to take this one and train her. Thank you.
She's like, I don't have time to take on too many baby gays. I also have like an illustrious lacrosse career to get to. So like, can we please, let's just wrap this up. You take this one, get everything under control, and I'm going to go and like mud wrestle some women on a field with a big stick. I'm sorry. I went to a bad place just now.
But also like the lacrosse. Lacrosse lesbians are such a thing.
Listen, the lacrosse storyline as a whole also like comes out of left field like 3/4 of the way through the movie.
Yeah, and then you're like, wait, what? And they're like, no, lacrosse is our thing, and it like was like She's the Man came in. Like I feel like this is like every
Yes.
teen film I've ever seen put together into one, but it doesn't make any sense.
No, because they just kind of like, they're like, I guess we're done with that now. Let's grab this storyline over here and like rope it in. And it's super weird because it's like they throw the lacrosse thing in and all of a sudden it's like, here's the thing. It's like you could do like She's the Man. I could also see it being like the whole drumline thing in Cadet Kelly, but like only if you learned about it like halfway through the movie and you'd never heard anyone mention it before ever. And then they were like, "Oh, and like actually now this is the only thing you care about, and surprise, you're like super good at lacrosse because apparently you get it from your mom, who surprise also played lacrosse like 30 years ago at this school." And you're like, "What the fuck is happening right now?"
It's too much.
Like, what is going on? I don't get it. It's very weird and very gay. And at this point, Poppy is like, "Oh my God, I've like gotten here and I'm happy and I have all my gay friends and I've realized that like I'm not being my authentic self. So I dyed my hair brown again because now I'm a real lesbian." And you're like,
The dyeing her hair back brown, like that is, oh my God. Like what? Like everything about this, there's just so much of transformation, right? She comes in being this like stuck up in the closet girl, and she like works through everything, like realizes, oh, I have real friends, and my real friends are these queer girls, right? And then we have like a whole friend breakup, which we always have with the gays, right? We didn't even talk about the friend breakup.
"Oh my God."
Which like secret lesbian Harriet tries to break them all up by making these like fake accusations about them.
Harriet is so jealous of their love, you know?
She's too jealous and she needs to break them up. But then when you read her real diary, you're like, wow, this is gay. Nobody's ever loved me before, but I really love these girls, blah, blah, blah. And they read it, her diary, and they're like, oh, we love you too. So gay.
The diary is going to segue me to the last person that I really need to talk about.
Drippy.
Who is Drippy. Because, of course, Drippy, as soon as they get into the situation where they're like, we're all mad at each other and we had our big friend breakup and we're all over it. And Drippy's like, well, actually, in her diary here, and she's like so casually just being like, well, since I read her diary like all the time, like girlfriends do, like,
let me tell you.
Let me tell you. And Drippy, here is my other gayest Drippy moment. Besides the fact that, like, I feel like in some ways Drippy also is a glue, like, holding this whole little, like, poly
You're so right.
group of
she
them
brings them all together.
She really does in a lot of ways, right? Here's my other favorite Drippy moment is when Poppy has headphones on at one point and they're discussing all of the dudes that she has slept with probably, and specifically the positions that she has slept with them in. And Drippy mentions how she's definitely done missionary and probably also the Lebanese fulcrum.
Did you look that up?
Which, like, if that is not a baby gay trying to describe scissoring, I don't know what is.
I don't know what. Yes, the Lebanese fulcrum.
The Lebanese fulcrum. Is that what British people call scissoring? Because that's what I'm going with in my head.
I actually really like that because, yeah, I'm not quite sure what a Lebanese fulcrum is. But does that mean I'm not a good lesbian?
I mean,
has
apparently
every lesbian done the Lebanese fulcrum?
You haven't done the Lebanese fulcrum, Ellie?
God damn it. She knows a little bit too much about Lebanese sex positions. Let's be real.
It's like, it's very, you know what it reminded me of is like Brittany from Glee. I feel like if Brittany from Glee was gonna like try to describe a lesbian sex position, that's what she'd come up with.
You are so right. Drippy is Brittany from Glee. Drippy is also named Drippy.
Her name is Drippy, but also I love you, Juno Temple. So
she does a great job in this film. She's the glue. She's the gay.
This also has nothing to do with Drippy being gay, but just in terms of, like, they did Drippy dirty in this movie. I love how they go in and they have this whole, like, scene montage with the very gay hairdresser. And when they dye Poppy's hair back to a brown in, like, a clear coming out, metaphor. Yeah. They do that whole scene where they're like, everybody's in this salon and they're all getting their things and he's making Poppy super gay and brunette again and whatever. And then Drippy walks out with the exact same hair she walked in with. And I'm like, Drippy. Like, not even a brush? Nothing?
I know, Drippy's hair is chaos.
They're not going to give you anything?
I love it.
That's just mean.
Also, let's talk about the actual gay, because there is a gay hairdresser.
Yes, he's super gay. But again, I don't think it's ever, like, canonically, is it? Does he say anything explicitly?
He definitely says something explicit. He definitely talks about, like, oh, I wish I was on a, like, island with a bunch of men. Like, he's like,
great.
So
shout
gay.
out to you, gay hairdresser.
Like, too gay. Honestly, like, why is that also a trope, right? Legally Blonde, we have the gay hairdresser. Like,
in Princess Diaries.
they're everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, he does a good job. Yeah. I literally wrote in my notes, what's more gay than going all natural? Because that's literally, he's like, let's just go a little more natural.
I love it.
Yeah, he said, I want a fireman's island, an island full of firemen. So he's definitely,
You gay hairdresser.
he's definitely gay, and we're happy for him. Very happy.
You know, it's funny, like when we picked this movie, I was expecting this to be another Should Have Been Gay, where we get all deep into the metaphors and the clear like thing. And instead I was just like, no, this movie's just gay from start to finish.
It's
like
just obviously gay. There's a lot of obvious stuff. I just want to talk one more thing about the virgin thing, because I found a little note.
Please.
Okay, so she lies about having sex, and then she finally is like, I feel comfortable enough to tell all my friends, right? So she says to her friends, I'm a total nun. And every single one of them says, welcome to the nunnery.
Incredible.
What is
Incredible.
gayer? What is gayer than a nunnery? And it's also insinuating none of them have slept with boys, and none of them want to, and they're all just gonna sleep together in their weird little
which
little
makes
baths.
perfect sense, because maybe this will be my last note, because I think it's the only thing I didn't talk about yet. But if we want to talk about all of the girls together at the end of the dance, the last thing that happens at the dance is like the DJ goes to play a song and yells out, "For all you lovers out there," and all 5 of the girls
dance
like
together,
rush onto the dance floor to dance with each other. And I'm like, oh, look at you all. So cute.
They're so gay. Like this film is just, it's very, very gay.
Can we say, do you want to say LA Wild Child?
Should have been gay. So which characters are we shipping?
Oh God. For very specific reasons, I ship Kate and Poppy first.
Yep. Copy.
What did you go with?
Copy.
Poppy. Yeah.
Easy.
Okay.
I'm also gonna ship Drippy and Poppy.
Yes.
Droppy.
Pippi.
Pretty good ship names.
Pretty good ship names. I also ship all 5 of them together, and I don't know what to call that.
The nunnery.
Oh my God, you're so right.
I know.
Ugh, thank God you're here for me, Ellie.
And then also the side chicks. What is theirs?
I ship the side. I need to look up their names. I don't even know if they have names. I need to know it though, because I need to ship them together, because I ship them together so badly.
So hard.
Oh, they're literally just credited as Poppy's friend. I hate it.
That's so sad.
I ship the side chicks together.
I ship the side chicks as well.
Especially the side chicks in their little like Pride and Prejudice page boy outfits.
Oh, hell yeah. There's a lot to ship here. And we definitely do not ship anyone with Freddie. Sorry, Freddie.
Sorry, Freddie. But to be fair, the movie barely shipped you with anyone either, so.
Very true.
I don't blame us.
All right, are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Let's do our Q and gay. I'm so ready. Here we go.
Q and gay.
Question number 1. This one's for you, Lee.
Okay.
Did you ever get shipped off to boarding school? A, yes, or B, no?
I did not get shipped off to boarding school.
Me either.
Apparently, to my loss.
Surprise, surprise.
Just
no
a hotbed of lesbian activity.
And baths.
Okay, question 2, Ellie. Which prank should definitely have gotten Poppy expelled? Is it A, the phone sex ad, B, the Candyland pool, C, the French CD, or D, Matron's tape deck?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think Matron's tape deck, that one wrecked me. That was good.
Her face in that car. I will vote, though, the Candyland pool cracked us up, because when what is it that like almost gets her kicked out? Is there like, oh, you're gonna date Freddie, like that'll get you expelled.
Yeah.
And we're like, but thousands and thousands of dollars worth of damage to like school grounds, that was okay? Because I'm like, they must have had to drain that whole pool. Like,
yes,
that's bonkers.
Horrible. All right, question number 3, Lee. How long would you last without mufti? A, a week, B, a day, or C, an hour?
Which mufti are we talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
You know what mufti we're talking about.
I do enjoy wearing my own clothes, so, but also, I mean, I could go a week. I don't know.
A week, Lee.
A week?
An hour. We need it. No work, just mufti.
Just mufti. All work and no mufti makes Ellie a dull lesbian.
True. True.
Okay, question 4, Ellie. Are you gay or just English?
I'm gay and English.
Sorry, we didn't add a secret option C, but Ellie really pulled that one together for us.
I love my horrible British accents that I've been doing since season 1. Don't you all, listeners? Yes, you do. All right, question number 5, Lee. Have you done the Lebanese fulcrum? A, yes, or B, no?
Yes? I really don't know what to answer here. I think the answer is as I'm gonna headcanon what the Lebanese fulcrum means in my head and just say yes. Why not?
Yes. We've all done the Lebanese
We've all done the
fulcrum
Lebanese
at one
fulcrum.
time or another.
We've all been in a Lebanese fulcrum once.
We've
you
all been
know?
there. Wow. Thank you all for listening to this chaos episode about Wild Child, the gayest boarding school film I've ever seen. As you all know, you can answer our Q&A questions on our Twitter at Let's Hang Out Pod. We cannot wait to see if you've all done the Lebanese fulcrum.
Let me hear you say hip, 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 we're gay.
We love hearing from all of you. We love building this community. So we just want to shout out some of our favorite things we've heard from you every episode. And this week, we want to shout out a listener who reached out on Instagram. So shout out to Tressa, who let us know that Kate Beckinsale, who was mentioned in our Queer Wolves episode last week as playing a non-canon queer in Underworld, also played a very queer-coded vampire in Van Helsing, 2004's Van Helsing. So listen, we are all here for even more just shy of canon queer-coded
Kate Beckinsale.
Mythological creatures of the night. We're here for it all. So there you go. Everyone wants Kate Beckinsale as a very queer vampire.
I know I want it. And as always, we want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster,
Jess Klaus,
Tanya Ferguson,
Danny Griswold,
Jacqueline Rosashino,
Sarah and Julia,
Carrie Ann Lawrence,
Danny Gunlock Tamora,
Brittany Ray,
Alana Rosen,
and Tara Gleason,
and our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen,
Leah Henley,
Liz Chen,
and Wendy K. Bartlett.
Thank you to you and to all of our patrons. We could not continue making this podcast without all of your support.
Remember, you can also find us on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Let's Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at letshangoutpod@gmail.com.
Or check out our website at letshangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use to listen to podcasts, make sure that you subscribe. That way you'll get new episodes as soon as they go up every week.
Also, you can subscribe to The Flame on any podcasting app or at bpn.fm/theflame.
We also have a YouTube channel where we still have videos going up. You can subscribe to that at youtube.com/letshangoutpod.
If you want to support the podcast, you can rate and review us on iTunes. We love hearing what you have to say about the show.
If you want to support us financially, we have a Patreon. You can find it at bit.ly/lespatreon. In addition to helping us continue the podcast and helping us do even more events and all sorts of things, you also get access to our Discord chat. You get access to our Les Essentials viewing parties and ad-free episodes and all sorts of other cool stuff.
All good stuff. If you want to help us make more musicals, because we are working on stuff, we actually are working on a song tonight. You can, you won't be able to hear it yet, but you will be able to hear a preview of it before everyone else at the Flame Patreon at bit.ly/theflamepatreon. In the next few months, we'll be giving you updates on our next musical.
And now we have rounded the corner out of gay Christmas, aka Halloween, into heading into actual Christmas. So just a reminder, if you want to get all of our merch and you want to start thinking of like Christmas gift ideas, we recommend checking out our TeePublic store at bit.ly/lesshop and get that special someone in your life, you know, a Les Hangout mug or a Flame sweatshirt or whatever other cool designs on all of the TeePublic merchandise. Just endless gift ideas right there.
My personal favorite is "Unwrap me, I'm gay." That was me. That was my quote on a t-shirt. If you want to find us individually, you can find me at Ellie Brigida on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee.
And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey, guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.